At the dawn of time, single-celled creatures emerged from the primordial ooze to colonize the Earth. The fertile soil they found was beautiful, dangerous, and wild. However, it was also super lame because they didn't have the concept of numbers with which to rate things. Now, in the year of our spaghetti monster in the sky, 2025, two intrepid brothers have come forth to solve the world's problem. No longer will items go unrated. No longer will everyday objects escape the rule of numerical law. This is Review Everything.
All right. Hello and welcome to Review Everything. Something I just realized watching that intro. If I ever shave my beard, I'm going to have to change the avatar I drew. And like I just in Photoshop the other day, I was like, let's turn off the layer of the beard to see what's underneath it. It's horrifying. You don't want to know what I drew underneath there. There's some strange lines happening. So I hope that we never get there.
Wait,
But
you didn't change mine, and I don't have a beard right now.
you kind of have a beard. You do have a halfway beard. I could draw you with a halfway beard. Interesting. More mustache heavy for the listeners at home who can't see it. So this is Review Everything, your life alteration podcast where we take the stunning caterpillars of the universe and turn them into beautiful numeric butterflies.
Wow. I think just in case, because in some podcasts, we've never breached into the area of like guidance. And so we should probably put a disclaimer in that this is for fun. And if you follow any of our guidance or use one of our rankings to help inform something, that's on fucking you, okay? If something bad happens, that's not on us.
But if something good happens,
That's on us. That's us.
That is on us. Yeah, you absolutely contact us. We can be your life gurus, your Sherpas, whatever you want. I mean,
Send me a Bitcoin. Go back in time. Send us Bitcoins.
Yeah. Come on. Go back in time and send us Bitcoin so that we can get rich. My name is Ashton Macaulay. I'm a writer. I'm a data scientist, and this is my way of controlling the chaos of the world, is putting numbers to it and really just taking the universe down a peg. Who are you?
Hey,
Tell them.
I'm Connor from work. I do this podcast to hang out with my friend and to talk about things because it's good for my brain and to co-regulate. I am your elder millennial guru in life. Am your tech burnout brother. Am one of 7 old gods. I am the blight that lives in your soul, searching for peace.
That's beautiful. Which of the 7 old gods are you?
I can't tell you.
Maybe he's one of the elderly gods and he just doesn't want to say it. God sounds better than elderly gods.
I'll give you a hint. You know how crabs got one big claw and one little claw?
Yeah.
That's your hint. Nope.
Yeah,
that was it.
Okay. Well, it's been a minute. Like, we haven't recorded in about 4 weeks, so I figured we'd do some social lubricant, get us good and piped up, have a little bit of chatting. So how was your break that we definitely planned as a form of podcast life balance that we told everybody about? You probably just didn't remember it, or we cut it out.
I really want to get on that, but now I want to tell you about a crab situation that happened the last couple days. So I was in
that's what I want to hear. That's what I would like. Let's get straight into the crab situation. That's the interesting part.
I was in Pioneer Square in Seattle, and it's pretty clean now. It's pretty nice. But there was this old dude, and there's a lot of art galleries, and he was just sitting on one of the old like stoops in front of an art gallery window, and I heard a big crunch, and I was like, man, what is this guy eating? It was just a box full of crab legs, and he was just looking at the art and eating crab legs. Other things.
Just pulling crab legs out and straight.
Yeah.
Oh, was he crunching them with his teeth?
Yeah.
Or did he have a cracker?
No cracker, dude. He was mauling a box of crab legs with his hands and like crunching with his teeth. It was cool.
That's not like what I would think traditionally of as like finger food. But it is a move to just walk around with a fucking bucket of crab legs, and just like a KFC bucket of crab legs, just munching at art galleries. I love that for him.
It's more of an arm food because that's where you get the meat from. But yeah, no, we took a little break. You had a work trip. I had some friends visit, which was super fun. And I think that's it. It's summertime here, a little sweaty right now. We got the fan on low. What have you been up to? You got a puppy? Have we ever talked about your puppy?
I got a puppy. We talked about that on the last pod. I had literally just acquired him, I think, when we did our last pod.
And this is Al. You can see Alan right now. We'll put him up.
But yeah, we'll put an image of Alan on the screen. Look at him. He's so beautiful.
He's so fucking.
This is such a good picture. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Now Alan's great. He's chaos. He's taking up a lot of my life. The other thing that is taking up a lot of my life, and I have an exciting announcement. I have a book launch event that's happening, and it's going to be in September. If you were in the Seattle area, you know the beautiful city of Bellingham. It is where I went to college. There's this bookstore that was like, for me, really formative bookstore. Like I used to browse the stacks there, drink a shit ton of coffee during grad school, and think like maybe one day I'll get a book there. It's called Village Books in Fairhaven, Bellingham. I'm going to be doing a book launch event there for my new sci-fi novel, One Night at Cadassi. It's a comedic sci-fi adventure. It's very good. It's inspired by 80s and 90s action. You're going to love it. Go pre-order it. There's links everywhere. But if you want to come hang out live, like that's the place to do it. You do have to buy tickets to this event. They're like $6 or $25 with the book. But I'll put a link in the description. Village Books Bellingham. Come to my book launch event. Do it. Connor from work is going to be there too. So it's basically a live recording of this podcast. Basically.
Well, so I didn't tell you this, but so if you're on Patreon, if you're a Plus member, I already have like a meetup happening. And then if it's OnlyFans, if you're in the Connor Cougar Club, that's also, you're able to meet me there, but no touching. I might give you a peace sign. Ashton will touch you. He'll rub your hand like this.
Yeah, man, I don't even have the OnlyFans. It's just free. I'll touch you for free. I'll rub hands with you. But yeah, come get a signed book. Come say hi. September 27th, Village Books Bellingham. Do it up. That's basically what I've been up to, is planning for that, getting book reviewers ready, and doing a shit ton of editing. And I'm very excited. But the thing we're here today, it's actually very good, because I've been going through a lot of chaos in my life lately. It's been a lot of work on this book stuff. Having a puppy is great, but it really like tosses your life into chaos. So we're talking about things that bring me calm, and this is the perfect topic, I think, for this time of my life. Do you want to go first or second?
We have one that's very similar with different takes on it. How about I'll kick it off with a real fast one, because I don't think there's a lot of content, because when I do this one, I don't remember a lot of it, which is part of it.
Interesting. All right.
So that's, yeah. Well, so now there's a commercial break to get people, because we gave what I'm
sorry, let me just do a quick ad read real quick. If you're thinking about using HelloFresh, you're a fucking idiot. You should try Connor's Meal Supplement Plan. It's full of protein, and in fact, it's just a box full of meat. It's pre-cooked, and then we vacuum seal it, but we don't cool it down. So it's real good for your proteins and make your muscles real big. Try Connor's Fresh Meats today.
That honestly sounds a lot like Factor, which is essentially...
There was a podcast ad I heard that was like, hey, we'll ship you like a free thing of ground beef if you use this code. And I was like, this is not interesting to me.
Yeah, no. If you
ButcherBox, yeah.
Since Factor doesn't sponsor us with people, I tried it. It's essentially slippery meat of one kind of another, and probably some bad green beans. Save your money. What you should save your money for is Xanax, which is my first thing that brings me peace. And so Xanax is a miracle drug. That is the paid name for it. What do you call that? What is the
brand name?
The brand name. The actual name is like alzapram. It's a benzodiazepine. But here, I don't know a lot about it. I did a quick look. I knew it inhibited something. And so first, let me give you a general idea of how it works. So it impacts, or it decreases, it is the primary inhibitor for essentially your neurotransmitters. So it's everything. I always knew the brain was kind of like a big computer, but I just went through and read the actual like chemical thing that happens, and it read exactly like my freaking transistors class in engineering. So let me read this to you, because it is fucking insane. Okay. I'll just do the last part of it. And so there's a lot of GABA receptor things. Okay. So we get to ion flow and hyperpolarization. You have the opening of the GABA receptors allow negatively charged chloride ions to flow into the postsynaptic neuron. This influx of negatively charged ions causes hyperpolarization. The neuron's interior becomes more negative, and this results in the calming, and that is decreased neuronal excitability. And so this is the one that really hit me. Hyperpolarization makes it harder for the neuron to reach the threshold needed to trigger an action potential. Thus, neuronal firing decreases and the neuron becomes less excitable. So by taking this medicine, it messes with the gaps in between receptors, transmitters, things like that, very transistor-like. And so by doing that, you're firing less, pretty much across your entire body, brain, tummy, everything. And when that happens, I feel good. I feel amazing. I feel like a human being. And so that's kind of what happens. And let me give you the couple of times where I realized this really is a miracle drug. And that is, I was first prescribed it for flying. I would get like 5 a year. That's pretty much the same deal I have now. And so I was very like tight on when to use it and how. But essentially, it made it such that I didn't care if the plane crashed, which is amazing if you're on a plane and you're terrified. And it also reduces the buildup. And so the way I actually use it now is I realize that the airport component of flying is like the worst part of it. So I actually take it an hour beforehand, and it makes the entire experience better. And so as far as like when I think of a wizard and I think of like a potion, this is the closest damn thing to a potion that you can get. And it comes with the negatives of potion too, which will take me right into my rubric. Before I do that, do you have any questions?
Man, comments and questions. This like, so I have a similar thing. It's basically Ativan, I think is the brand name. And it does the same thing where it's just like, hey, all these things that your brain cares a whole lot about, that it cares too much about, what if you just didn't?
Yeah, let's just lower it a little. And so it like the things that really matter get through, like walking. But
it's like, is this what neurotypical people experience
dude,
on a daily basis? Like, I have to wonder, like, if you're neurotypical, what is it like to just go through life? Like, I mean, I don't take medications every day, but like my brain does so much fuckery on a daily basis just to like
most of my energy is going to managing my brain and my nervous system on a daily basis. Like it's its own job.
Yeah, it's like, I just like neurotypicals, please hit us in the comments and let us know, like, what's it like when you go get a cup of coffee? Like, just break it down step by step for me, because I'd like to hear about it. Xanax, my questions, how habit forming are we talking?
Well, so that's
it sounds pretty habit forming.
So we make it, this may be a bit contentious, if you recall our addiction rubric. Yeah. But I do have that as a parameter, and so we'll hit that in a moment.
Okay, that's funny. Also, our addiction rubric has caused fights in my house.
Has it?
Because my wife does not agree with me, and like I think this is an example of me being neurodivergent, where I cannot accept, like, for some reason the addiction rubric really threw me last time, and I've just had to let it go.
I saw a bit that reminded me of you in that moment, and it was ADHD people saying the thing that they want very clearly over and over again, while I essentially gaslight you into not understanding that very clear thing. And I was like, that's what I was doing. But I know, because that's what he does to me, everything with the rubric. And so like, I'm just going to do the same. Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of gaslighting that happens in our friendship. I think it's one of the core pillars.
It's powered by gas.
Yeah. All right. Give me the rubric. Tell me where this is at.
We have a new category, and this new category is shortcuts.
Ooh,
so
nice.
I have 3 component parts to a shortcut. The first one is short-term value. This one is easy. It is a magical potion from a sky wizard. The things I could do on Xanax that I wouldn't do in my normal life: talk to a stranger, crash a plane, go scuba diving. I will do any of those on there. And so short-term value, 10. Long-term value, this one's a bummer, because to your point, you can't take this forever because it is highly addictive and it has withdrawals. And also, if you change your baseline nervous system that much, like that's what the withdrawal is your body gets used to that level. And so if you stop it, then it comes back even worse than it was before. And so long-term value, I put this at a 1 because I can't use it as a long-term tool. And then my last category, a little bit more vague, it is naughty. And so this is generally like, how naughty do I feel when I take it? Like, am I being bad by taking this? And so I gave it a 7 because generally no, because it is a miracle drug. But I will say, if you take it and 2 beers, it becomes a miracle drug and more fun. And so that's where the naughty thing comes in, because I have a long flight and I want to kind of build up that so the curve goes.
To be clear, we don't endorse taking Xanax and drinking beer.
I talk to your doctor. Again, we already have the thing. I definitely recommend it. It is better than Xanax
Your doctor
alone.
will say no. Don't do that.
I know. But for me, like this, like have a Xanax and a beer. It's amazing. And that's what I got for shortcuts. Oh, the total is an 8. Whatever you want to make that.
I mean, like, I'm gonna base this partially on my experience with Ativan, and like it's fucking great. It's interesting because it does feel like less of a kick in the ass afterward. Like there's no as long as you're not repeatedly taking it, there's no like snapback. But I do like when my doctor gave it to me, she turned her screen to me and she's like, look, so I have to put in my fingerprint. I have to sign 3 documents.
Oh my God.
To get you this medication. Like, I do not want to see you inside of a year. Like, you get 1 pill per month, and that is it.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, so like they're very strict about this stuff because it is like it's super duper habit for me. But I'm good with an 8 because like it is straight up a miracle for somebody that like experiences life in the way that we do. All right, so Xanax, we're gonna give it an 8. Is going in the category of shortcuts.
Shortcuts, baby.
Notes, real fun, but
I mean, fun's not even the
naughty.
right word. I am using the word fun because there's so few times
Agitation.
where I feel like the base layer of anxiety that kind of keeps me from being in the moment disappears. And so, like, I'm not actually using it to recreate. It's only fun in the sense that that blanket of shit is off of me, right?
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
that's very fair. Let's go ahead and do some sorting here.
Heck, have 3 beers. If you weigh 200 pounds, go for it.
My God, this is embarrassing. I can't sort this. There we go. Sort today. So that ties it with first schoolyard ass beating. What is better? That's tough,
dude,
actually. That's really hard.
So when anything's ever come up against school, like the learnings of your first fight, it's always one. But for this, at least for shortcuts, I wouldn't put Xanax above it.
Okay. All right. You cool with putting it at 8.1? Just so that we don't have to fight about
0.05 since we're going to blow this up.
8.05. Yeah, we are going to blow this rating scale up at some point and like do something that's not this because this is insane. This is a lot of fuckery. I recognize I did this. We'll have to rate my scale at some point on here, but like, yeah, that's fine. We'll 8.05. That puts it right above schoolyard ass beating and right below ABC Tales.
Okay, what do you got for us?
All right, my first item is the first cup of coffee in the morning, and I'd be honest. For me, like I'm an atheist. This may surprise some of you. There is nothing closer to God than the first sip of coffee I have in the morning. I can be in the worst headspace like I've ever been in. Like the morning after my dog died, I got up and I had the first sip of coffee, and that is what tells me that life is going to continue and that it is going to be okay. And I swear to God, like I have a coffee maker that I really like that I've had for like almost 10 years at this point. I got it right after a terrible breakup, and it has become the most comforting thing in the world to me of just that first sip of coffee that's very consistent. Like it's amazing. It's everything. And as somebody with ADHD, like coffee is basically medicine for me. So I don't take Adderall or anything because they never really worked for me as a kid. But when my parents had me in a therapist when I was about 14, and I was like failing in school, couldn't study, couldn't get anything done, and like they had tried several medications, and then this therapist said,
"Hey kid, let's go to Starbucks. Let's get you a grande."
You're so close. He said there's a Starbucks a block away. Go get him a frappuccino.
What?
And then let him sit down and study.
Are you serious?
And see what
That's
happens.
insane. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not because like
It's
caffeine
not
does
because
that,
it works,
but it's
yeah. So like 4 p.m. middle of the week, I had a test the next day. I drank this whole frappuccino. I studied and I aced my test the next day because for the first time, like it felt like my mind had some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Like I think caffeine ramps everybody else up. For me, like I'm already here and it just sort of levels me out, and then I get a solid like 2 to 3 hours of productivity off 1 cup. And so like that coffee is just it's everything to me, and it really like first cup of the day. It just makes everything better.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, please.
Do you have any other like tools that are I mean, outside of a medicine, but like a tool that you can consume or do quickly that has that kind of same effect, or no? Is this pretty much
there's
okay.
nothing. There's literally nothing. Like when I had an ulcer in college and they told me to stop drinking coffee, like it was the biggest blow of my life.
Yeah.
But I don't consume nearly as much as I used to, but like that first cup. And I think it's funny because like this has bled into my writing, specifically Whiteout, which is available everywhere. Let me just
Is that one of the ones in the Nick Ventnor series?
yeah, this from Nick Ventnor.
Oh man, are
Whiteout,
you kidding me?
available everywhere in paperback. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. So this is a funny story about my wife. So my wife never drank coffee, didn't like it. She read my books and said that the way that I described coffee in my books made her want to try it, and now she drinks coffee every day.
Pandering. She said that to you before you guys got married?
She did.
Yeah.
She did. But I actually, no, that's not true. She might have converted after we got married to coffee.
That feels like pandering. I'm going to go back and read those books. Because every time I remember thinking about throwing up, because your character's always burping and throwing up.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's almost like Rick from Rick and Morty a little bit. He's pretty gross. But I have a quote from the chapter that's titled "A Damn Fine Cup of Coffee," which is in almost every single one of my books has a chapter called A Damn Fine Cup of Coffee. So I lifted the small cup to my lips and felt a wholly unique sensation. It was as if I had never been truly alive up until that point. The liquid was smooth but strong, sending radiant energy coursing through my veins. The aches in my muscles disappeared, and I felt a raw energy that I had not possessed since my youth. I legitimately feel it almost every morning. Like my body fucking hurts, man. It hurts really bad, and then I have that first sip of coffee, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna be all right. And so the one downside to this is that there is danger, because when this ritual is interrupted, or if I get like somebody serves me a truly nasty cup of coffee that I don't like, my whole day, my whole being, my whole ethos is thrown off. Like Ashton without the first cup of coffee is a fucking terror. And just like when that gets interrupted, again, my wife will tell you, I'd become a miserable shit. And it takes me a while to like get out of that spiral. So there's some danger. But I'll give you my ratings. But first, any questions?
Is it the whole ritual? Like, what do you mean gets interrupted?
Like, so I need to be
understand
able to
a bad
enjoy
cup of
it.
coffee. Like if you're on vacation and you're rushing and you end up getting the hotel coffee, like I would skip it, right? But that would put me in a bad mood.
Yeah, or like if the line at a coffee shop is too long at the airport, and then I have to drink airplane coffee instead as my first cup of the day, then like I hate it.
I'm having a Bloody Mary. I don't know why you would have coffee and then get on an airplane.
I can't do alcohol and then get on airplanes. I can't do it. But yeah, so that's but it's like I need the 5 to 10 minutes to sit with my cup of coffee and sort of decompress. Usually it's like I have my cup of coffee and I do my writing in the morning.
So there is a pretty big ritual to it. Like, because those things are all very important too. Like you getting like that creative outlet in the AM before other stuff starts happening. I'm very impressed by it. It's one of the things that I wish I could do. And so I'm trying to like dig in a little bit so I can figure out a version of it for myself, because I can't drink coffee anymore with my medicine. Like I have a cup of coffee a day and I get really, really mad. Like I yelled at you playing video games earlier.
That's true.
So,
Connor on coffee doesn't like playing video games with Ashton.
I was right. You deserved it. But like it gets me too wound up now, especially with my medicine. So I do, but I miss it. I used to be a coffee enthusiast. I wouldn't say snob, and now like I'm a coffee garbage man. Like I'll just have a sip of like the shittiest, donkiest ass coffee, and it doesn't bother me. But I used to like drink black and percolate.
I'm not even that picky.
I know.
Like I really like my coffee maker at home.
The Mocha Master.
It's called the Technivorm Mocha Master. It literally just makes drip coffee, but it's the best drip coffee I've ever had in my life.
All right, give us the rubric.
All right, so I have unadulterated bliss, which I give it a 10 out of 10. Cost of losing it, I give it a 4 out of 10. Taste, 10 out of 10. Nothing tastes better. Good for brain, 10 out of 10. Final rating, 10 out of 10. So for me, this belongs alongside the Bloomin' Onion, but I'd like you to go ahead and break my heart, because I assume that's not true for you.
No, I get it. And before, I wasn't medicated for ADHD until my late 30s. And so I had used this, not really knowing what it was doing, as a tool for a very long time. It's how I got through college. And so, no, I appreciate the hell out of it. And I assume that as we move to like an S tier system, like this is S tier, hell yeah.
All right. I'm doing it. I'm putting it in this. I mean, we have a couple of 10s now, but first cup of coffee, 10. Oh, category. I didn't even think about that. Is it mystical? It's not a mystical artifact. It's not a special. It is a shortcut, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, you're changing your brain chemistry to achieve something.
We'll call that a shortcut. It's a 10 out of 10 shortcut for me. Oh, it should be shortcuts. And I'm going to say notes. Just really good. Make my brain work like a normal.
How many cups of coffee do you have in a day now?
2.
Like hard?
I have one in the morning, and I had one like before this podcast at we're recording at 1 p.m., which is also weird for us. Usually we do evening, but
if you're in the Connor Cougar Club, you afterwards join the happy hour, so I usually have a drink during the nighttime pods, and so different vibes.
Usually. So we now have 3 10s. We have the first cup of coffee, the Blooming Onion from Trayvon's Outback Steakhouse, and then my lucky coin. Which that reminds me, I used my coin again.
You didn't flip it. You didn't flip it.
I did. I did flip it because I was going to Dublin. It was not for the flight, but my sister-in-law is very pregnant, and I flipped this coin to say, is she going to give birth while I'm in Dublin, which would suck because we have a puppy and getting my wife to the hospital would be a whole thing. But the coin said she wouldn't, and she didn't. So still right. Still doing good. What's your second item?
I didn't know you were using it now as like a predictive thing.
Well, if it was wrong, I would let you know, and then we would.
Wait a second. So right now, you're now predicting into the future. I guess what we were doing before. I need to think about this because I'm afraid that here's my worry that you've perverted the coin. Like we imbued it with a 10 and that meant something. And now you are pulling energy from that coin and using it to get information as opposed to like this was deterministic because this was about what was going to happen to you. And so I just want to.
Now, are you worried that the coin is putting energy back into the universe? It's changing things?
I think we did something with that coin, and you using it in this way just feels wrong to me in a way.
We're like an older inventor dad in a 90s movie that's messing with things, and now it's gonna turn into a gremlin of some kind.
You ever watch that movie Casper? As a kid, had that.
Dude, I was literally just watching a trailer for Casper before this. Literally, as I was waiting for you to join this room. Because it's the 30th anniversary. And it's coming back to theaters.
Are you serious? That movie that movie was so existential to me because they were all having fun and there's a ghost and I was like, oh,
and it's a dead
kid. Like this whole movie is about some Lazarian. I don't think you could say it that way. Like dad raising his kid. What the heck? That freaked me out, man. That wasn't fun.
Bill Pullman and Christina Ricci.
Those are like
as leading the film, like very young Christina Ricci, Bill Pullman, like right around Independence Day.
I'd pull him.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Is it Bill Pullman or Bill Paxton? I never remember. It's one of those two.
Bob Pixton.
I messed this up on our last pod. It's Bill Pullman. Okay. It's not Bill Paxton. It's Bill Pullman.
Yeah. So all the Paxton heads who like lost your shit last time, calm down. We corrected in situ. Okay.
Yeah. Now, okay. So for your next item. This is interesting because I'm looking at this here, and we have two very similar second items.
But I think they're very different. I think different and like similar to a way last time where we get something different from it.
Yeah. All right. Let's tell me about yours.
Okay. So my second thing that brings me calm, I called it forced meditation. And hopefully that makes more sense in a second because it's in a specific category and that's hindsights. So things that I've learned. And so before I kind of tell you what I've learned, just like, so I've always been an anxious person. Like when I was like 3, I slept on the floor because I was afraid there was going to be a fire every night. So I wanted to be closer to the exit. Later, I was afraid that there was people going to be like getting into my house. And then as I was older, a teenager, like I worried about my physical health and then my mental health. And so I found all these different terrifying things to be terrified of, and I'm kind of out at the moment, which is one of the reasons why I think me and Ashton are in slightly different places in his life because he's younger. Because I hit a cliff at some point, and that cliff it got so bad I didn't really care anymore. But one of my biggest life experiences is that if I have repeatable data of something, like if I'm terrified of something, but 2 years goes by and I don't die, it slowly tails off because it's kind of proving to me that I'm not going to die. And so anyways, I think it kind of fits in that area. But there was a couple things that I started doing that just made me feel good. And I didn't know why, but I just did them. And I did them in some cases as much as I could, sometimes multiple hours per day. And so the first one that I did was team sports. And so I got really into ultimate after college, which is like soccer, but with a frisbee or flying discs, and so that's TM'd. And what happens is my mind blanks out because I'm absorbing everything on the field. As Ashton can tell you, I am a tactical genius in video games, and that extends to real life too. And so I see things that you would never see. I see plays. I see the disc getting manipulated and spinning in the air in fashions that you cannot perceive. And so I'm absorbing all this. I'm running. I'm getting the good, all the whatever chemicals come out after you exercise. I get the adrenaline out in my exercise, and all things culminate into me feeling good. Another one that I threw that I never liked the idea of, but I threw spaghetti at the wall, and that was yoga. And as much as I don't really like doing yoga, it did something to me that very few other things did or do. And then the last thing, I have a couple of these, and they're usually around sports. So
just real quick, was that yoga with Dennis from Peloton?
No, it was actually yoga pre-pandemic in a class, which helped a lot. Because it was
in person.
Yeah,
okay.
Forcing
All
function.
Right.
Man, this little lady in 2 different sessions, we were doing the dead pose where you just lay for 5 minutes, and she ripped a fart and we all had to ignore it. It was so beefy and it came out of like this 4'8" little athletic person. Okay, anyways.
I mean, dude, when you contort your body like that a bunch, like it is just you're getting the pipes untangled, and
No,
then
for sure.
the farts just come out.
But we hold them.
I'm
We're in a
ripping
room.
ass all the time when I do yoga at home by myself.
Yeah, me too, but not in
Yeah.
a room, a hot room.
I mean, I'm gonna try not to, but sometimes it just sneaks out when suddenly you straighten your body out after it's been in a pretzel, like the sewer gas escapes.
All right, I'm not going with you. The last example of this was I picked up rock climbing because at the time, for a 1.5 year long period, I was just having heart palpitations every minute. And I got cardio workups and they didn't know why. They found them. My heart beat upside down. It happened at least once a minute. Sometimes it was 20 to 30 times a minute. And so it was constant stress. It was all I thought about. And so I turned inward in a very negative way, listening to my body, which is one of the reasons why, like, sometimes I don't do that now because I can kind of cycle on it. But funny enough, one thing stopped for when I was doing it, stopped the heart palpitations, and that was when I was bouldering. And so for 1.5 hours every day while I was bouldering, the heart palpitations went away. And so anyways, taking all that together, and now on the other side of that stuff, I realized that all of those things for me are essentially forced meditation, where I am finding mechanisms or combining a bunch of mechanisms that essentially make my brain not think because it's being consumed by other things. And so really it's hard. And that's where I think kind of like Eat the Frog is different. And, shut the fuck up, whoever Protestant asshole was like, oh, I'm more successful than you. I promise you, whoever you were, I've done fine. But this is one of those ones where, like, I'm not good at doing it in absence of that stuff. Like, I have to essentially trick my brain. Like, I think the equivalent for you, Ashton, is eating fast enough that you can get all that food in before your brain freaks out. And so this is
my brain realizes I'm full.
Yeah. So this is my version of meditation. And it makes a lot of sense. And so now I can kind of map that to other things that I do, and I can find bits and pieces of it without having to do those things because I better understand the mechanisms. One quick hint I'll give you, and then you do questions and rubric. I was doing a leadership class because there's a bunch of physiological tools that you can use to help calm yourself down. None of them are magic pills like Xanax, but they can do things. But what I learned through this class is that oftentimes, and this kind of goes back to where I was saying turning inwards for me isn't always the easiest place to create calm in me, because I start listening to things that I don't want to listen to because I think about them or have in the past. So a lot of times breath work works for certain people because it's hitting a couple sensory things and you can kind of calm your brain down. But in this leadership class I was taking, they threw out a couple of others that are just different senses. And after they did it, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. But there was a specific language the dude used in the class, and it was exquisite detail. And so meditation was essentially finding exquisite detail in something else to quiet your brain. And so for me, one of the ones that that we talked about and works way better for me than listening to my breath is actually finding exquisite detail, just slowly rubbing my fingers together. And so the tactile and the physical nature, and actually just trying to focus on feeling my own fingerprints, blanks my brain out pretty fast. And I can do it in conjunction with other things. Another one was, for some people, trying to find the farthest thing away you can hear and hold on to it. That was another one. And so there's a couple different things you can do that just aren't like sit and be quiet and put your hands on and don't think about stuff. And if you think about it, you're bad at meditation. That's also not what meditation is. And I think Ashton will tell you that in a second. But there's a bunch of other little tools out there, and you don't have to do it forever. Do it for 15 seconds before something stressful happens. It makes a big fucking deal. Every interview, every big meeting I go through, I do 2 minutes of like exquisite detail touching my fingers, and it helps a lot. So any cues, and I'll do rubric.
So tell me, like, so what is the overall thing that we're rating here?
A hindsight. So it's a learning.
It's a learning. And then the learning is that these things, we're blanking your brain, but there's easier ways to do that than these things.
Or better understanding the why these things did. I can employ them in different ways where I don't have to go play 4 hours of Ultimate, because that's a very logistically and from a body perspective thing for me to do. So like I can no longer use that as a tool. I have to find the smart things from it. And that's what I think I figured out is there's a version of these activities that do like create meditation for me.
Yeah. So these things, like when you were doing them, they would are you saying they would take up way too much time? Like it's not just like
A
I
part
go
of it.
do this for an hour. Like I have to go
Yeah,
like, really get into this.
like the idea that you need to wake up in the morning, do a sun walk, cold plunge, like jerk off your dog, and do a journal. That's the only way that you could be a successful human being. Like, no, I can't do 45 minutes of meditation in the morning, but I can do 45 seconds of one of these tools, and that gets me 70% of the way there.
All right, yeah, give me your rubric. I'm curious about this.
Yeah, so this is a hindsight, and my first category is would have knowing about it made it better at the time? And I would say probably yes, because I didn't fully understand that I had so much anxiety and the ways it was physically impacting me as well as mentally, but even physically, whether it be heart palpitations, body spasms. So I could have used this earlier to eliminate additional points of anxiety that were, that I didn't realize were there. And so my next one is, does knowing make it better now? On the other side of it, it kind of does. It's in a good intellectual exercise, but I get pissed off at myself because I can't always turn that intellectual exercise into something that works for me physically or emotionally or mentally. And then how dumb do I feel because I didn't see this then? I'd say a 3. I'd actually say this is, a lot of people have some version of this. It's probably why certain hobbies work for others. Some people like being around 1,000 trains, and that's calming. I don't know what that means for you, but I can tell you that if I rock climb, whatever it is, the gravity, the almost like looking down, it does something to my brain that nothing else does.
Yeah, that's so sorry. What's your final rating?
Yeah. Sorry. My final rating is a 5 because I don't know what to do with this. But
I honestly like, I kind of want to talk you up a little bit because I know you were saying that it made you feel dumb in hindsight, but I feel like these are all pretty positive things, despite the fact that like you didn't quite understand what they were doing. None of them are like bad for you. If anything, they're all very positive things for your life. Net.
For sure. I think probably what it is because I made the category hindsights, and I don't like the idea of ever looking at the past being overly positive or overly negative, and so I slotted it in the middle. But I do agree with you. Like, this is generally positive learnings, and they help me. So
I say we bump it up to a 6 then, if you're okay with that.
5.9 rounded up to a 6. Okay.
5.9 rounded up to a 6. We might just have to put it at 5.9 because you know how. Like, here, you want to just throw out a decimal for me here, and we'll put it at a decimal.
5.954.
So you called this forced meditation?
No, this was hindsight.
But that's the category. But what's the item is the forced meditation.
Accidentally
and I'm
forced
put
meditation.
Through frisbee, climbing, yoga farts.
Man,
and then you said it's a 5.95.
4.
5 point. This is our first triple decimal.
Mm-hmm.
There will be no tie there.
Mm-mm.
Hindsight. Like every notes, I'm going to put Connor doesn't like it when women fart.
And I just want to head you off real quick because I'm afraid we're not going to get there. And that is, I think how this helps you get out of a snowstorm is first with exquisite detail. You blank your mind out and you hear the furthest thing away that you can, and you hear the rumble of a large truck. And then with exquisite detail, I'm able to overcome the coldness in my fingers and blank out my brain. And all of a sudden, my ability to move and to manipulate things, even with the cold weather, is heightened. And so now I'm outside. And then with exquisite detail, I listen to my body. I perceive my body and my stomach, and I'm able to control my metabolism and my water usage. And by employing those 3 things, I am able to essentially fly to safety as a godlike ex-tech worker.
Wow, that sounds really nice. I have no idea why you would bring up a snowstorm, though. It's kind of...
All right, what do you got for us?
It feels like a weird non sequitur.
You're a non-sequitur.
I've never really talked about that ever, so that's... Wow, really threw me there. My item is meditation. Not forced meditation, but voluntary meditation, which is it is an important difference. So this is something I started when I was in graduate school, but I never had a consistent practice, and I needed it in graduate school because that is like when I gave myself an ulcer because I was stressing the fuck out for 2 years trying to write a thesis and stuff, and it was a lot, and there was a lot going on. And so I used to think that meditation was just chanting like in a very specific position, and then eventually like enlightenment would follow, and like your head would just shave itself, and then you would ascend to a higher plane and be fine. And then several therapists tried to get me to do meditation as well, and every time they did it, it was different. Like they all had a different visualization. Like they'd be like, yeah, you're watching a river and your thoughts are floating by, or like you need to put your thoughts in like a big cabinet and like you unlock the moi for later. And like none of that shit worked for me. What did end up working for me was Headspace, and they are not a sponsor. And like I will say, the only reason I use it now is because my employer gives it to me for free. Like I would not pay for this app anymore. I've used it to the point where it's like its usefulness has run out for me, but because it's free, I go back to it.
So that's like physical therapy, right? So it's a good tool. It's just like you learn it and then you employ it on your own.
Yeah, and it's good to go back to sometimes. Like, but the thing about Headspace that honestly got me is this dude named Andy. Andy is one of the narrators on Headspace, and he has like the most calming voice in the world. And I was willing to sit and listen to guided meditations from him in a way that I was not able to sit and listen to guided meditations from other people. And so this guy, I kind of went on a little bit of a rabbit hole about him, which is, so he's the founder of Headspace, but he's also a former Buddhist monk and got a degree in circus arts. So he in London, he got a degree in circus arts and then abandoned that to go become a Buddhist monk. And this is something that's come up several times for me in the past. It's just like, I'm always like, just really taken aback when people make the journey from Buddhist monk to tech millionaire, and it's not that uncommon.
I mean, that was Batman Begins, right?
It actually, yeah, it really was. Well, he was a millionaire, and then he went and became a monk, and then he kind of came back and was a millionaire.
He didn't monetize the specific thing. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. If he had monetized like, the fear mantra he learned from like Ra's al Ghul and started selling that, actually, that would be a fucking great Batman story if he comes back as a wellness coach.
Yeah.
I would watch Bruce Wayne wellness coach.
Would you eat a street meat that was named Ra's al Ghul? Like if you were just walking down the street and there was a nondescript piece of meat on a stick, but it smells pretty good, and I'd be like,
assuming I wasn't vegetarian at the time, yes.
Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say like right now, no, because I'm like, that's meat. I'm not eating that.
Fine.
But like in general, like
I didn't feel like
stinky street meat called the Ra's al Ghul. That does sound pretty interesting to me.
What about a vegan sandwich? Okay, what a vegan sandwich called Ra's al Ghul? What would be on it?
Oh, okay. The Ra's al Ghul. So you're gonna want something that's been dead and resurrected. So I'm thinking tofu that's been buried and
Stinky
fermented.
Tofu. Yeah. See, I just learned
so
about
we're basically
tofu.
talking century tofu.
Yeah.
Has been buried and like marinated in lye, and then like on a sandwich with like a black mayo. So it's like mayo mixed with black pepper and squid ink. And then I'm gonna think like maybe some spicy peppers because he likes to use those shadow bombs, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like the shadow bomb in your mouth.
Dude, that honestly sounds like a pretty good theme sandwich.
Yeah. Look, are we opening a sandwich shop?
All right, let's talk about Andy. Andy monetizes his experience and created...
Yeah. So, but this is the thing. Like, this happens a lot. Like, there's a lot of people who become monks and then come back and become tech millionaires, which makes me think like, is Buddhism like actually the path to capitalism? Probably a spicy take, but like, there does seem to be a lot of capitalists that come out of monasteries, and I wonder if it is they go in capitalists, they learn how to become better capitalists. But anyway, so Andy, like, despite the fact that he took this journey to become a tech millionaire and founded Headspace, like I bought in. And so Headspace taught me techniques to actually sit with and deal with like my mind's racing thoughts that I've been able to employ in my daily life. They often involve like visualizations, and there's a lot of 10-part courses. But, and this is the second I brought this up, when my dog died, the worst day of my life, hands down, bar none, easy. They had a 30-day course for grief that may have very well saved my life. Like it got me out of the darkest time I had. That plus the first cup of coffee in the morning. But like it was a pretty powerful meditation course that really got me through it. And now like meditation is a tool that I turn to like when I can't slow down. When I will realize that I'm ramping way the fuck up and like I can't come down. Like there's some threat that I can't. Usually it's something in the future, and I will sit for 10 minutes and I will listen to a guided meditation, or I will just do my breathing, and like most of the time I will come out feeling better than when I went in. It doesn't always like, it's not always great, but most of the time it's good, and it's never bad. So that's it's also helping me through puppy ownership right now. But before I get to my rubric, do you have any questions?
I think I asked them as I went. Who's Jay Shetty?
Jay Shetty. This is in our notes. So Jay Shetty is a podcaster that was also a monk that then turned into a wellness guru.
Ugh, and a podcaster or before?
Sorry, one more time.
Was he a podcaster before Or did
No,
it? Okay.
after.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and like when I was working at Spotify, I can't remember the like I had to research him at one point
Mhm.
for something I was doing when I worked on podcasts, and yeah, so he came up and I was like, that's when I first became very skeptical of the journey from monk to tech millionaire, because I bet you there's like a course you can take where it's like, pay $10,000 and we will send you to Nepal and you can live like a Buddhist monk and then
Yeah.
come back a changed person. Like that has to exist. If it doesn't, I'll eat my own hat.
Kind of want to do it now. So okay, my real question is, so one of the things when I've done meditation, and this is the same for yoga or it's really the same for anything I don't really enjoy doing, if I have the opportunity to kind of curate it for myself. So are you the same way when it comes to the type of meditations you do, the person doing it? Like, have you found a sweet spot for you on like, or does that not matter as much? Like you can ignore that, it like cadence, voice, style.
I generally will gravitate towards specifically meditations where Andy, like his voice. If it's somebody else's voice, it does throw me. And I actually I started meditating in silence or with like binaural beats instead, and that's helped a lot. But I whenever I need to kind of recenter and remember like what the general flow of getting into a 10-minute meditation is, I'll go back and do a Headspace one because they'll guide you through it step by step. Yeah, I do think that that's a really good thing about the guided meditations I've done too, is they do focus on, it's like, yeah, you are going to get distracted, your mind's going to do stuff.
And that's fine.
That's the point.
Yeah, that's
the
the
point
actual
isn't
practice.
to do anything else other than sit. It's just you're just sitting down.
Yeah.
And you're noticing it, and it's yeah. But my rating, so like startup cost 10 out of 10 because you don't need shit to do it. It's free. You can meditate anytime. You can find a guide online, I'm sure, for free. 5 out of 10. I have not found enlightenment, and so I should probably pay Andy more money. And like it can be frustrating at first. It's like, especially if you have ADHD or anything else that makes it difficult to sit still, it's a lot. Calm generated 8 out of 10. It's inconsistent, but it's never bad. And then look silly while doing it. Yeah, 6 out of 10 because you do. And one time, an Amazon driver dropped a package off in my front door and saw me through the glass as I was meditating, because I have a big room that I like to sit in that's nice and bright. And like I just opened my eyes and made eye contact as I was like sitting in my meditative position. I was like, oh, this sucks.
I'm sure that guy was like, man, I wish I could be sitting right now.
Yeah, he's like, hey, that guy's found enlightenment. I should follow him. Anyways, final rating 8 out of 10, and I'm gonna bump it to an 8.156. And yeah, I like it. It helps me.
I was listening to the Ezra Klein podcast the other day, and he had essentially the godfather the guy who wrote the book on meditation. And Ezra was like, so after, being the guy who essentially wrote the book, and how changed are you after doing this for 40 years? And he was like, I'm not really. And he's like, what do you mean? Why have you done it? He's like, I don't know. Like, I like to do it. He's like, maybe I have like a half second buffer in how my human emotions reach up. He was like, but I'm still like, I get frustrated quickly and my family has to deal with my shit. And like, it was the first time like Ezra's like, the fuck? He was like, why am I doing it then? He was like, because Ezra was like, oh, this is this saved my life, kind of like you were saying. And then here you have this guy who's like, I'm a little bit better because of it. But
that's the whole thing, right? Is just a tool.
Yeah.
They don't always work, but when they do, it's good. You have any argument on the 8.125?
No, I'm good. These are things that help us.
All right.
It's hard for me to get mad at them.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like when it's a good tool, it's a good tool. This is probably our most positive episode we've done yet. Category, I'm going to put it in shortcuts as well.
Oh, no. The reason why it's the opposite of a shortcut.
Oh, you're right, because it's long, huh?
It's a long cut.
Life experience? Not self-flagellation.
Tools.
Oh, tools. It is a tool, for sure. I will put it in tools.
I mean, shortcut is just a tool that's a shortcut.
No, it's frustrating, but it works. Also, we could make wellness money.
I don't want to.
I don't want to either, but we could.
I have this idea for a competitive therapy social network / app.
I like that. I do like that.
Very toxic.
Competitive therapy.
Yeah. Well, it's like what you already do, like in your head when you're doing therapy with your partner, where you're like, I'm winning this, I'm doing better, but
I'm getting more points.
We put structure to it. There's scores. It's everything.
And we give the therapist like a clicker so that they can assign points in real time.
Honestly, I don't think I would hate that. I think it'd be more clear for my brain if I got a score from my therapist in real time. That would be easier than them trying to like say words to me and like modulate my feelings and just be like, you have a 1 right now. I'm like, oh fuck, okay.
Okay, I don't want to be a 1. How do I get back to a T?
Maybe that's not the point. I think that's a pod. I think we got a pod.
That sounds like a pod. Yeah. That was a good one. You want to pick a topic for next time, real quick?
No, let's
I think
think
it's your
about it.
turn.
Let's surprise him.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we'll
Well,
surprise you. With
no,
it.
it's your turn. I did calm because we chose the mean one.
Ooh.
Do you have one?
Okay. Yeah. I got one for you. Things that are spooky.
Shit. Okay. You know I
Things
love that.
we're gonna do things that
Crap.
are spooky.
I love so many spooky things.
Yeah.
Should we
Yeah, I
should
feel
we
like
save that for
this-
Halloween?
Ooh. Look, Halloween in August. Look, there's plenty of Halloween things. We're doing things that are spooky. Spooky things. Next time. All right. Love you, bud. Bye.